Oh, Brainiacs. Yeah. Cracking, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over this great planet we call Dirt. What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing well. Indeed, it is Monday. Monday all day. And I'm cracked out cranking on some mojo and coffee. Talked to Tina Damley about that one, man. Holy smokes. Right there. Oh my God. Right there. Oh, I'm even snorting. I'm so damn happy. I got some stuff I want to talk to you about. Yeah, man. Got some stuff I want to definitely talk to you about. We're going to go over this HR House Resolution Bill 57 on June 23rd, 2023 was passed. Passed in 117th Congress to I don't even want to say the word. Should I say it? Should I say the word? I'll just say, get rid of. Get rid of one problem and usher in another problem. You cannot make this shit up. We're going to talk about it tonight. Open lines all night long. All across America. I'm glad you guys are with me. Matthew Turner with the Matrix Minds. Don't go anywhere, Brainiacs. Share this broadcast. Share this podcast. I am on like a band and can't share nothing. Nothing. You say it again. Nothing. It's just, I guess it's because of the topic. On with the show. On with the show. Wow, Brainiacs. Yeah, man. No doubt about it. Don't go nowhere. Again, share the broadcast, share this podcast. And let's get this ball rolling. Yeah, man.
What do you say, Brainiacs? You guys ready? It's time. It's showtime, brains. That's right. It's Matrix time. And it's go time. Welcome aboard, everybody. Let's go! We're going to talk about ufology, conspiracy theory, controversy, and anything and everything that we can get into tonight. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
As Mr. Andy Cassidy says, crank it up and break off that knob, Brainiacs. Yeah, man.
Crank it up, Brainiacs. Yeah. It's definitely your show. Your show, and we appreciate you for being here. Buckle up, everybody. Welcome aboard.
Ooh-wee, Brainiac, welcome. No doubt about it. Check it out. What in the world are we looking at here? I just seen the chat. Yeah, Tina Danley, you got that right. Let me Let me go over to the Brainiac chat as I like tweak on some mojo here. And again, open lines night. I want your guys' opinion on this. All right? Not joking. From the potential President Percy Littleton to Mr. Door Kicker, Mr. Hawkins, to even you, Miss Tina Damon. I want your guys' opinion on what we're talking about a little bit. We're going to go over some other things as well, but nevertheless, I want your guys' opinion. The switchboard is open for the entirety of the night. You may not see a little green open lines, but still, nevertheless, it's there. All right. What's up, Jack Roberts? Smellware sending some loves. What's up, Mr. Morgan? Shout out to everybody. No doubt about it. Also wanted to say we're cranking here again on Spotify, in the Spotify land, as well as iHeartRadio and everywhere else. I don't even want to say it, but let me turn her off real quick, or make sure she's off. Yeah, she's off. I can say that as long as you guys got these devices, crank it up for me. Alexa, play the Matrix Minds podcast. Ah, shit. That's funny. Right about now, I figure, I don't know, there's about 50,000 Alexas worldwide going, what the hell is that, man? Controversial, conspiratorial, that's what it is. We talk about it. This is the thing. Whenever you get to talk about these things, this is what I've always tried to coin. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy researcher. I can't stand the word conspiracy theorist because that's a CIA term. But no pun to the CIA. But I mean, shout out to you, to all of you ABC boys. But it's like they've thrown us under the bus, and it's like everything that we share is, oh, it's a conspiracy theorist. It's a conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theory. Well, look, man. Let me say something that I do believe. One of the Trumps. Oh my God, Donald Trump Jr. coined the phrase, "It's only a conspiracy theorist or conspiracy theory for the next 8 to 12 months. Give it time." I don't disregard that statement. Indeed, it's a conspiracy theory for a little while. How many of you have gotten from like a normie? Because that's what, again, I even hate to use the word normie, but that's completely what it is. That's what we are. It's like the division: blacks, whites, girls, boys, conspiracy theorists, normies. What the hell is going on? Why can't we all just be human? Awakened, awoke, whatever the hell terminology they want to use. Good one. Thinking human. We're all thinking humans. Right? That's what we are. Thinking humans. I mean, to hell with the segregation and the division. Whites, blacks, girls, boys. Confused. Who cares? Drop that and go with the thinking human. We're all thinking humans. And right now, I'm about to go over here and share with you some news that to me, now this again, to me, is right here. Now, this is some interesting shit. Right here. Can you guys see this? I hope you guys can see this. If all of you guys in audio only land, I'm gonna read this to you. On June 23rd, 2023, House Resolution Bill 57 was passed in the 117th District of Congress to, I'll just say it, implode, impeach, get rid of, can, scratch and sniff Joseph R. Biden for check this shit out, right? Because this is a long laundry list. For enabling bribery and other high crimes and misdemeanors by allowing his son Hunter Biden to influence the domestic policy of foreign nation and accept benefit from foreign nationals. Oh my God! Say it isn't so. How many of you conspiracy thinkers, out of box thinkers? Nevertheless, we already knew this. So it's like, mic drop. Consult your local aluminum foil hat wearing guy down the road there. Don't blame me. Talk to somebody who woke these people up. They ain't stupid. You guys are absolutely not stupid. And I'm glad that you're not. Because that right there is just the start of it. Like Tina Daly's like, again, you gotta remember, there's a tier to this hierarchical situation. Just because Congress says, get rid of him, blah, 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 he's completely worthless, shits himself, can't walk, flat surface, straight line. You guys know how it goes. Come on, this is a circus. This is absolutely a circus. And they mock the American people as well as the world. They mock the world in this underlying agenda. God, I don't even want to say that word at this point. At this this script. I mean, geez. Going back here to right here. It says on June 26, 2023, the top Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives threatened. Okay, that on June 26th, and now we're on like June 23rd, right? Now June 26th. Do you see where this is going? Now they're going after Garland. They're going, get rid of all these sons of bitches. They ain't nothing. They are none worthy. And it's a script. So we're gonna go over here to the Wall Street Journal for a second. I'm gonna drop this. If you're wondering what I'm doing at the moment, I'm gonna drop this in the Brainiac chat over here in the Matrix. So heads up for this incoming link in the Brainiac chat. I just dropped you guys a link to what I'm reading, to what we're going over. Again, don't leave this all up to me. Okay? We pay for a switchboard. Please interact with me here. You guys, this is, and I guess I can say this. The interaction here is a lot of the reason why a lot of shit don't get done around the globe. I am absolutely blown away that we've got lines. We're talking about this shit show, and you guys don't blow these lines up. That blows my mind that it doesn't happen like that. But nevertheless. All right, so Wall Street Journal posts, some House Republicans want to fast track this Biden. Yeah, the word. Push. GOP leaders deflect the Republican Lauren. Okay, because we already know that Lauren's very, very, very outspoken. Let me get. Oh no, we don't. We definitely don't want sound, because all they're gonna do, all Wall Street Journal does is like they don't even do commentary. They just share their shit with a bunch of like, oh God forbid you get caught recording it. So it says right here, Hunter Biden agrees to plead guilty to tax crimes. We already know that is one thing. Okay, but again, did you see what they're going to do? They're wanting to impeach the big guy for it. If you didn't catch that, let's go back. Okay. Now, gotta remember, Hunter Biden to influence a domestic policy for foreign nation acceptance of benefit, enabling the bribery. Okay, bribery of what? Well, they're selling natural gas. They're doing this, taking you name it. What aren't they doing? What aren't they doing? You or I'd have done been thrown under the damn prison. You know it as well as I do. It says Hunter Biden, President Biden's son, Scratch and Sniff's son. We can find a really good name for that prick. Pled guilty to the charges, and he willfully failed to pay federal tax. That he willfully failed to pay the federal income taxes. Wait a minute. Now, my question here is, we know that he's going for, high crime. Biden's going for, they're wanting to impeach him for high crimes, misdemeanors, allowing son to blah 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 blah, do all this bullshit. But yet, Scratch and Sniff, right? Scratch and Sniff's kid, failed to pay taxes on all of this national fuckery. Do you see what I'm saying? There's more fuckery on a national level, not just Scratch and Sniff's kid. So it blows my mind that it's like it's taunted in front of our faces, right? Come on, you gotta show me some more than that. All right, there we go. The charges came as president began his campaign for re-election. Yep, well, we know that. We know all kinds of shit like that. That's what's saying. It says the guilty plea marked a culmination of years-long investigation by the Trump-appointed U.S. Attorney David Weiss. There's a lot more to this story that we're not talking about at the moment. You see this? It says Hunter is charged with not paying taxes for his $1.5 million income in 2017 and 2018, despite owing more than $100,000 each. Come on. All right, I've got to transition out of this real quick and say, look, let me say something. Hunter's charged with not paying taxes. Come on, man. Do you guys, let's go back for a second and let's connect some dots. Okay? Throw this out there again, open lines. I want your opinion, or I will war dial some people up in the chat. You got to remember, they're all guilty. Okay? They're all, every single one of these sons of bitches. Okay? Because call it for what it is. It is a complete shit show with our matrix of things. Everybody over there. Okay? I'm tossing them all off the bridge and saying they're all guilty of something. But yet one of them are less guilty than the other one, and well, there's high crimes and misdemeanors here. Well, we'll impeach you on this one. We're going to arrest President Trump for this. Biden got caught with top secret shit in his garage. Come on, man. Again, if any one of us, Tammy Bonham, Jack Roberts, Larry Hawkins, personally, anybody that's remotely listening around the globe, they bury us under a federal prison. Do you see what I'm saying? And again, let's not forget, it's not just a conspiratorial thinking, researching that. Well, we already understand that the tax evasion bullshit, blah 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 blah. But come on, man, where is this laptop at? What about the shit that the children have went through? What about all of that? Has all of that just been swept under the rug? Make no mistake, we've been fighting child sex trafficking and allegations, all this bullshit for many years, man. We already know that at the top tier of this supposed food chain, those that create Hunger Games type shit. Well, the apple don't fall too far from the tree, does it? So see, what I'm saying is, this right here is just the start of something, the trickle-down effect. And I hope like hell that this snowball that is rolling is going to get so goddamn big in fact, I don't give a shit if it takes years for it to melt, as long as that bastard melts. Because again, all of the Hunter Biden, think about this. All of the Hunter Biden laptop conspiratorial research that we all did, okay? All of that got swept right under the rug. You're getting banned on Facebook. You're getting banned on this. You're getting banned on that for simply sharing your fucking thought. You're getting banned for just simply thinking. Look, Facebook, maybe you should change your modality of asking us what's on our mind. And just change the post. Are you sure you want to disclose what you're thinking about before you post it? What's on your mind? Shell, what's on your mind, Pete? Are you sure you want to share what's on your mind before you click send? Because again, it'll get you 3 days, 24 hours a day, 24 days, an hour, 30 days. Can't post. Just being honest. Look, I'm just being honest. Larry's laughing. I'm being serious. Don't ask us these things in the matrix of things, all of these platforms, if you don't really truly want to know. Because I'm telling you, the division, you can see it. You can see it. Those again, I swear to God, it's like women on the right, men on the left, blacks on the over here, whites over there, and the confused. Well, the confused can make a choice. Now, here we go. The corrupt over here and the not so corrupt over here. Where does that leave those that expose corruption? Nah, you ain't wanted, so just go over there. Here's some duct tape. Shut the fuck up. Right? Is that the way it is? Because it seems as though even I've got friends on even the most, the right wing type platform. I'll even call him out, Mr. Brad Anderson. Brad, as well as like Dennis Zavitas. All of these people can go over the far right platform and share their thought there, and fuck, they're banned from there too. At what point do we, I'm asking you, at what point do we and can we say we have had enough of this matrix and just not give a shit about any of it? Because that's where I've gotten. That's, if you really want my opinion, that is where I am at. I have gotten to a point where I don't give a shit about any of it. I don't care about any of it. I don't want to talk about the politics. I don't give a shit about the politics. It is all corrupt from one side of the aisle all the way to the next side of the aisle. That's just simply the way it is. And if you've got something to say, guess what? You better grab some fucking duct tape and be very careful. 931 area code. I'm afraid to answer this bastard. Holy cow. What's up, Eric? Mr. Larry Hawkins, my door kicker. What are you? Am I talking real? Am I real?
Is that a loaded question?
No, I'm seriously asking you. Do you?
We're in the middle of a galactic explosion called the Big Bang. Technically, we're particles of a galactic implosion right now. So who knows?
Oh man.
That was a hello. I'm calling you button. I wasn't laughing at you earlier.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were, dude. I mean, everything I'm talking about, I am passionate about. From they're like sugarcoating the real deal. But I hope that this little snowball, bro, gets to the exposure of the children, gets exposure of the satanic rituals, get exposure of the child sex trafficking, the trafficking of human, not just our children, but the normal adults. You name it, dude. This entirety is corrupt, dude. And it's not just one side. That's the kicker, bro. This entire son of a bitch is broke.
Both of the wings have poop on them.
Oh, man. I'm just telling you what I would see. I'm telling you my opinion. And any of you ABCs that want to put me to the cross for this, I frankly don't give a shit. I'm giving you my opinion. For real.
Save me the spot. Hey, just to let you know, I don't know if I ever actually mentioned this, but in defense of some of the how do you put it, cyber communication platforms, I think when we're on here chatting, the way this system is set up, sometimes it seems that we're talking over each other. But I think there's an autonomous dampener, like a noise dampener, that gives someone the microphone like a Zoom thing, and there's already a little bit of a delay sometimes. So I think I kind of figured out that sometimes everybody's not talking over each other. It sort of dampens what you can hear, and then you think that you're the one with the microphone, but there's 3 different people talking at the same time.
I got you. All right. Check this out. I gotta say something in regards to Pete. Pete says it's coming. Just ask Hunter's lawyer. Look, Pete, we've been waiting for this. Again, this is the snowball that we've been watching grow. The momentum growing. We're waiting for it. Definitely waiting for it. Hang on, bro.
Fingers crossed.
Larry, let me say something to you about what topic. Because again, I'm gonna take another phone call to add to this craziness, and we're gonna have a discussion. Is that all right?
Sure.
All right, cool. Let's just do that. Let's do that. If as long as the switchboard's gonna let this feller in, because it looks like right now. Come on. I'm trying. It's saying, yeah, no. I might have to go out and come back in. Are you kidding me? Area code 504. Hang on. Larry, don't go nowhere. None of you guys, don't go nowhere. I've gotta go out and come back in. They must really, really, really not like this topic, and I frankly don't care. We've needed to talk about this. We've wanted to talk about this.
They must really.
Area code 504. Turn down whatever you are listening to the broadcast on, and go. You are live. Go ahead. Welcome to the Matrix. Area code 504. Come on. Hello. Talk to me, Mufasa.
Hello.
Hello. Well, hello.
I'm logging out and logging back in because there's a lag, but I am infuriated by this topic because this country that I was raised in is not the same country that is here today. It's unbelievable.
I've got a button for that. You want to hear it? Sweetheart, you are literally on target. None of us. I don't know. I don't. Give me your name. Can I have your name? You can. What is your name, honey? Hello.
My name is Morgan.
Morgan.
I'm a Mrs. I am Morgan Roundtree.
Okay, Miss Morgan. You and I, as well as Larry, it's not just you. The country in which we grew up in is definitely gone. Definitely gone.
It's so different. I was born in 1978. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay. It's all right. Miss Morgan, I was born in 75, so I'm not a lot older than, just a few years older than you. The world I grew up in was nice, beautiful blue skies, crystal blue skies with nice, puffy white clouds. You could literally drink the rain.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I feel you. We all feel you.
Yes.
So why is this topic?
That is no longer the highlight anymore.
What's the main
It's all
trigger?
about society and how we react to one another. It's nothing about nature, love, life, relationships. It's all of that is gone. That was so hyped up in the 90s about connection and love, and then all of a sudden they freaking indoctrinated us to make us think something different, and it's fucking sick, actually. I'll say that.
You're dead on. You're dead on target, Morgan.
I so miss what I can remember of the 90s.
Yes, Larry. Yes. Wait,
The
what?
90s was like our version of their 60s, if you know what I mean. I was a bit on the
Right.
gothy side, so it wasn't necessarily all rainbows and butterflies back then for me.
I was on the goths. I had the Doc Martens. I had the freaking piercings. I did the whole thing where I walked everywhere I went, you know, kind of because I didn't have a car. But then when I got a car, I went everywhere. But yes, it's the decline of our connection. That's the part that really bothers me the most, is that we are declining in connection because there's so much division being thrown at us every freaking day, and literally that is the fucking problem. That's the fucking problem.
Morgan,
I think some of the problem is some we're not little kids and 20s anymore. We've got a lot of life experiences and learned a lot of things, and our entire perspectives of I'm in Tennessee, obviously. I was taken from Tennessee when I was about 10 because of drama, so to say, and I was run all over the country. I didn't even know what my life was in a sense, but I tried for my entire life to get back to Tennessee, and when I got back to Tennessee, it was absolutely not anything like what I had seen as a 10-year-old.
Nope. Nope.
I was very disappointed. But anyway, it's the topic aspect in a sense is some of the things to consider is, well, there's so many ways to go with that, but I'm going to try and stay focused.
Yeah.
Why is it if someone has enough evidence against them to file documentation, may not be immediately removed from their public capacity? Because, so, as I think I have mentioned before, when you commit a violation of your title, capacity, or oath of office, or violate any aspects of freedoms, rights, or whatever rainbow spectrum of rights that the citizenry or indigenous peoples have, if you're committing any crime at all or violate any of those platforms, you are to immediately be removed from your public capacity, put in your private capacity, and held accountable for your actions or lack thereof immediately. Someone explained to me why this doodle bop, ancient diaper shitting son of a bitch, has been in his title-y platforms for like 60 years. And we all know, I could pull up a laundry list of shit on this guy, Scratch and Sniff, who, by the way, I don't even think it's really him. I'd still like to say, someone proved to me that Joe Biden is not actually Jeffrey Epstein with a hyper-realistic 3D printed stem cell infused and a controllable mask on, because that's what they do.
Okay, Larry. Okay.
He has military clearance. Why wouldn't he be up there wearing a face mask? Because he's helped set up, as example,
You know
the
what,
International Disaster Relief Fund, which Hillary runs.
You know
now,
what,
by the way.
though? Larry, you know what, though? Ultimately, we are all responsible for our reality, technically. We are responsible for how we perceive everything and how it happens to us. And I feel like we need to stand our ground and be who we are. And, well, this is simply stated, but we need to love one another, love ourselves, first. And technically, like, I feel like a hidden away gem that is understanding that everything is going on, but I know that if I'm good with myself, everything will be fine. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it's like I kind of get everything is fucking falling apart, but at the same time, I understand that I am part of it, and I am part of the strength of it. Does that make sense?
To me, it does, Morgan.
Relate to what I'm saying?
I get it. I follow you.
Okay.
But here's the difference between me, you, and Larry. Okay, Larry is a realist. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. Listen to me. I love him to death.
Yeah, no, I'm married to a realist.
I love him to pieces.
Like Larry. Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, he is. Me and him. We if we weren't on the same page, he wouldn't be in my camp. Okay, So he and I share a lot of viewpoints that are on the same page, but yet also I believe in things that Larry calls foo-foo. What do you call it, Larry? Unicorns, unicorns and rainbow Skittles or some shit.
Oh, I believe in unicorns and rainbows.
See, baby, so do I do too.
Time out. Hold on. Wait a minute. First off, there was such things as unicorns. They weighed about 4 tons, and they generally came from Siberia, as it technically says. They looked like a mix between a horse, a rhinoceros, and you get the idea. Technically speaking, they're reincarnating the mammoth and putting it in the same place where the unicorns technically were from in the Siberian atmosphere. But secondly, I thought we were talking about Biden.
Know, right?
We are.
I hate talking politics.
But again, this is the division. This is
an interjection on me or something that I don't know.
no. We're not ganging up on you, bro. We're not bringing you. We're not going to hit you with a galactic sword or anything. All I'm saying, this is the division, and we see it. Larry believes in this. She believes in that. I believe in this. But see, again, that goes back to what I said earlier. Why can't we just call a spade as a human being? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
There's different fish in the ocean. They still swim in the same water. We don't have to be the same fish.
I understand that too. But here's the situation. They are pulling the wool over our eyes in this matrix of things to the point where look at the girl. I just put this on with the show meme. This bitch is laughing at us, bro. Kamala Harris laughing at us. Joe Biden, they're all laughing at humanity. They're laughing at us. Maybe not us, but the majority of the people.
Right. But we choose how we perceive that. We choose how we respond to that. And I choose to be like, it's like, what?
Right.
Really? And I don't know what I can do in society to help things. Like, I honestly, I will genuinely admit that I don't know how I can help politically. I don't, other than voting, which to me seems like it doesn't even matter anymore after this last election. But what can I do other than energetically hold space for love and acceptance and appreciation and growth in our human society? Like, what else can I do other than just stand here as a form of love and appreciation? Like really? Because I have interactions with people all day long that have nothing to do with what the news tells me or race tells me or whatever. Like, I don't experience any of that. Like, I in my day-to-day life, everything is pleasant and loving and genuine, and I have connections with people when I open the door for someone in the store, or whatever, like my job, I'm a mental health professional, and I deal with people with intellectual disability, and I deal with families. I have 46 cases over the New Orleans area. I am in New Orleans, and my experience is different than what the media is trying to tell me it is. You know what I'm saying? I am experiencing love, genuineness. Anyway, I'll shut up.
Well, first off, I'd like to jump in there. Is obviously the voting system is entirely rigged. We've talked about all that. But I think with my 2 cents,
Yes.
With one of my heroes, one of my sisters, said something wise to me that's always stuck in my mind. And we were having a healthy conversation in a sense of because I was about to make a life decision and stuff. And she said to me, some of the best advice I'd ever had was, without communication, there's no communicating. And I think to answer all of the list of stuffs that you feel like you want to put on the plate, communicate whatever your plate is. You have your own journey. Pursuit of happiness. As long as you don't violate someone else's rights or without consent and such, it's basically just the universal law. But if your path be you're carrying your shadow, you're carrying your gene. You know, that's just my 2 cents.
It makes
I digress.
sense what you're saying, though, Larry.
Sorry.
And she's got a really, really good point too. In her world, she's surrounded by love, compassion, things like that. And me, I'll tell you right now. If I did not spend the majority of my day trying to prepare for like different broadcasts and shit, I'm gonna be honest with you. The majority of my life would probably be surrounded by the same thing, Morgan. I would probably, because
Exactly.
for real, it's not until we interact with this platform of fuckery, okay, that we get pulled in and my vibe. Put it this way: I could get up in the morning, have a really, really bright outlook on my day, looking ahead, right? And the moment I open up Facebook, or the moment I open up messages, it's like something. It creeps in. It's like a disease. It's like, wow. You're saying? I'm being serious. It's like the moment you open up the platform of the internet, then is when the toxicity starts to leak into your world, and you're like, damn it, Biden, what? Damn it, they're doing what in Russia? You've got to be like, ugh. You know what I'm saying?
It's like playing a video game with other people. You know, you gotta. That's how I look at it. Now,
I
want to
quit,
about
dude.
what people's days are like, I can sit there and do pity party me shit all day long about how much my life absolutely sucks. But it's not what I'm trying to get into. But not all of us have the same bubble, so to say.
True.
There's a lot
Very
of people who don't have a place to live. Everyone around them wants them dead. You know, there's people in all sorts of aspects living their own little journeys that are just the spectrum of this is glorious and this is absolute hell. You could probably find 50 people in here that would tell a different story, but it's what it is.
Miss Morgan is multitasking.
But
I see her chatting plus talking. Damn.
But ultimately, like, go ahead, Larry.
I'm just saying, I'm not trying to get off track or whatever, but you know, go ahead.
I don't know, guys. Ultimately, it just seems like we have to be in control of our own experience. And it's like, I hate the politics. I hate it. I hate the racism. I hate all of it because it's stupid.
They're the ones that are doing that's the problem.
But for me, in my day-to-day life, I don't experience any of that ever. I was raised that way. My family, we just lived life and loved everyone, and it was all good. And now I'm in this new reality in the freaking 2020s, and it's like not anything that I understood when I was a kid. It's like I'm relearning how to live in society because of the way the cabal has created things. It's fucking stupid, in my opinion.
You're right.
Can I get a little of my perspective of how things go?
Okay.
Do either one of you have a bullet hole through your front door that you could stick your thumb in because you tell people things? I do.
Okay.
Either one of you set the house on fire in the middle of the night while you were sleeping? Mine was. Just saying. Can you guys drive? Can you go anywhere? I'm a prisoner of my own property, and I got hundreds of little boon hunters that want me dead because I expose corruption. I don't give a fuck who you are. My world is a little different than you guys.
Okay, so you got a little more pressure than I do. Just like everyone on this planet, we all have a little more pressure than the other, or a little less pressure than the other. Like, we are all still human, and that's my whole thing. It's like all this division is just sickening. Sorry for my language. Sorry. Come on, Zuko.
Regular language is second language.
Trying to get my dog
I prefer
in.
People that cuss are usually the most honest. They're the purest, in my opinion.
Okay.
Morgan, you know what?
About Scratch and Sniff being disclosed, so to say, I believe how that documentation was supposed to be going is I think it's with the administration also. I think the entire administration is supposed to be gone bye-bye because they worked together, obviously.
Okay.
Isn't that what that file says? But it's not just him. It's supposed to be him and his administration, which would make step up. I think is how it's supposed to do.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Okay.
What question? Morgan, I'm going to toss this out. Morgan as well as
Please
like,
do, Matt. Ask us a question.
You Morgan, do you got children?
Yes, I have two sons,
All right.
18 and 21.
All right. Let's say you're the big guy. You're the big guy, okay? And you're the big girl,
Mm-hmm.
and your son done this or done that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, even though you were the president of the United States, that you are not accountable as well as he not be accountable for? What do you as a mom? Give me the moralistic standpoint as a mom, or as a parent. What do you think? Give me your genuine response. What the hell should happen with with this shit show going on over in DC? What should we do, Mom?
My genuine response is he would have to pay the price for the consequence that he created, and I would help him follow through with it. And you know, you have, as a mother, you want to protect your child, but at the same time, when they do something, you know, irrepressible is really the word I'm coming up with, and I don't know why, but if they were to do something that I couldn't come to terms with, I would just help him to see that he needs to pay for his actions and like seek his consequences, basically. Like I have an 18 and a 21-year-old, and I have, especially the 18-year-old, he is especially wild. He does a lot of things, and I've lived through some stuff, and I have made him, you know, stand up to be accountable for what he does. Like, yeah, no, I wouldn't just brush it over and fucking paint the nation with an idea. No.
You're a good mom as well as a good person, Morgan, because that is moralistic. These people, though, this is where I'm going, and I know Larry will say the same damn thing that you just said. He would be, because he's a man of integrity and morals. But these people we're dealing with, they have no morals, they have no integrity, they don't give a shit about you, or they don't give a shit about me. So now, my question as you and me being a citizen, Larry, I don't even classify Larry as a citizen. He is a retired GI. Okay, he'll always be a vet. He will always never not be a vet to me. So you and me talking as a citizen, okay?
I've been called worse.
That's what I'm saying. These people aren't people. They're not people. So now, what do we as citizens do about them not being up to the moral standard, up to the code of ethics, up to being a fucking human being? Because you and me, I know right now you researched. I know you're not stupid. And I know that you can see the forest through the trees, Morgan, as well as everybody up in this chat. We're not dumb. So what do we do about these people?
No. I'm awake. I'm not woke, but I'm awake.
I agree with you.
For sure.
Larry will tell you what he'll do.
It's just infuriating. This whole, why do we keep having these conversations about this stuff for decades and decades?
I know. It's so freaking stupid.
People,
it's like, hello, people. Welcome to people.
It takes a team to do this shit. They have accomplices in place around the world. ABCs, first off, I accept direct deposits, tax exempt, of course. But every electronic transaction leads an electronic trail. And I know you motherfuckers can do your job tomorrow. But nobody's doing it. However, I have heard some good
Alexa,
things.
yes.
This,
Love
this
these comments.
recent military operation that is happening around the United States. I saw an article the other day that some of this Operation Maven is public information, obviously. This Operation Maven, where some of the AI has been given an accessory to military platform, in a sense, and it has been running scans over the United States with LiDAR, facial recognition systems, looking above in the ground, because everybody knows that they know everything. They can see everything. They can look under the ground, in the ground, through you, in your pocket. They can identify your fart in the bottom of the ocean if they really wanted to. But this operation, in my understanding, I think it was Phoenix, they just busted 1,000 points, and I believe it was Phoenix area. I believe it was. I hope I'm not misspeaking, but I believe it was about 1,000 points of. I'm not trying to kick off your keywords, but they were trafficking hubs, gun runners, killers. You get the idea. The bad drug hubs. There was 1,000 points that was just picked up in Arizona by some of these platforms because they're running drones back and forth for about a month now and scanning everything. So as they could pick off the bad guys on the streets, we can also pick up the bad guys in the political regimes that have been running rogue for over 100 years. I can describe some of the Tennessee platforms, which I've done before. I don't mind putting it on the bus. Some of these places have been in place since like the Iran-Contra, the MENA connection, MK Ultra ships, NASA.
True.
Alphabet soups. Look at the history of fraud in the Wall Street. Look at the history of fraud in the FDA. History of fraud in the New York Stock Exchange.
But we are all responsible for our own experience. And yes, these things are happening, but it's like it's an awakening that has to happen within oneself, to where you and you know your power, and all of us, every single one of us on this chat, can filter or ground into the earth and spread out like a tree, basically, and spread your good nature and power and energy, and you can make a difference just by being yourself. That's the secret. That is the secret. You can make changes by being yourself. Anyway,
but let me interject for a minute. With what you just said, Morgan, I completely agree with you. I think you may have heard me speak on this. I love talking about what you're discussing right now.
No, this is my opinion. I've never heard you speak of this, but yeah.
Okay. I can't stand politics. I mock the living shit out of politics. And in fact, there's plenty of other pages on the internet and plenty of other shows to go talk about politics. I will mock it until the day I'm dead. Okay, because it does nothing more than fights. It feeds fear to my people. It feeds fear to the globe, and divides humanity. It keeps them from. Is low vibrational food, exactly. Okay, now here's the kicker: is this? I'm not saying that it doesn't not exist. It exists. Okay, and those that are in that lower vibrational state, and those that are seeing that we've got to at least share what we see, Morgan. We have to do that.
I agree.
I mean, so
I agree.
Right.
I'm with you, both of you. You and Larry, that's why I'm here talking in the chat right now.
Oh, I'm watching the chat too. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff up in there.
But a sentence that comes to mind is, a well-informed citizenry is the best defense against domestic terrorism and tyranny. I believe that was Jefferson or something like that. One of those guys who wrote one of those phrases. You all need to know what's happening around you and who's doing the nefarious platform. I'm not saying you got to love politics or anything. I don't know what all this other stuff is.
Right, you just need to be knowledgeable of what's happening around oneself. I get that. I believe that. I am that.
So let me throw this out there. Miss Lisa Ayo says our sheriff in her town is corrupt as hell. So what do you do? What do you, again? You've all heard me say this, right? You've all heard me say this, but the problem is, I'm just me. You see, dude, I rattled the living shit out of the mayor's page. I've been banned from it twice, and then told them you can't ban me on a platform like this. They've got to be outspoken.
It's actually illegal.
True. You can't just be silent. Okay. Being silent is being complicit.
No.
Being silent is saying, "Oh, okay, it's all good." No, it's not all good. No, it's not.
No, you're right, and you have to follow your heart's desire and respond to what you are affected by. Yes. 100.
So, Miss Lisa Ayo, she's been a long time listener here on the Matrix. My thing is put some fire under your sheriff's ass publicly. Publicly call him out for being a shit.
Communicate.
That's a good point. Yes.
Communicate. Tell everybody. They can't stop your mouth from moving. If you inform others, if you see something, say something. Keep telling the chain there's something wrong with the chain until the chain corrects the link in the chain that's either broken or going to break, or is intentionally going to break the chain, because that's an entire violation of the basis of the chain of command. You ever seen Shawshank Redemption with a guy in prison? He just wrote hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of letters to try and get books for the prisons and stuff. He was a banker and such, and he said he never really committed any crimes in his life or knew anything about crime until he went to prison, and he learned from the platform of the prison how to be a criminal. He ended up writing a bunch of letters to get things done, even in a prison. So, just as an example, somebody who's rotting away from prison, what they think is the rest of their lives, they still got things done.
Right, Miss Ramona, you are absolutely dead. Ramona, you are absolutely dead on target.
Right.
If people would stand up for human rights, and stop turning a blind eye to this bullshit, stop accepting hate, etc., then their friends and their family, and stop accepting the horrible behaviors around the world, okay, and in this circle, this shit would end. I agree with what she said. That right there is dead nuts.
100%. Push.
You like bush.
That is the basis of how Marxists work. Is they utilize gaslighting and Stockholm syndrome. They make everybody scared to speak up. Scared to invoke their rights and scared to have a voice and no words. Like you said earlier, they ask you what's on your mind, and as soon as you say it, what do they do? The first thing, violate your freedom of speech. No, not today.
Right. But do we agree that they've, mess everyone up to make people think, or we just assume that everyone is kind of figuring it out? Like, technically, our power is our consciousness. So how we think, that affects our reality, that affects those around us. So if we are thinking that they're all feeling, whatever, or we think they're feeling empowered, like, technically, if we are feeling empowered and we think others are feeling empowered, our power affects those around us. So positivity is the recipe here. That's what we need to do, technically. We need to think, like, yes, this is all happening, but we can also think that they are going to figure it out. Like, that too is helpful. That it's just my opinion.
Yes, Christopher. Christopher's like, fear is a weapon of the weak. Love is a weapon of the strong.
It is.
I also got to give a shout out to Richard Roller. He's in Australia. Alexa Jameson's in Australia. Them guys are under some real heavy shit right now. The awakening is going on massively over there, as well as in Africa. Get this shit. In Africa, their government is telling them, you remember, there's only 24 hours a day. They went from 8 hours to now 12 hours of shut off. You're only allowed 12 hours of power per what? And they choose when it's on and when it's off. These people right below me have gotten way too much power, and they're too damn big, if you ask me. Big government, being honest with
why I
you.
think they do that? You know why I think they do that?
Well,
I
it
think
ain't to conserve electricity, Larry.
What?
I said it's not to conserve electricity, Larry.
Yeah, right. I think what they're doing that for is because they have to divert all those energy platforms. Like if you recall, a while back we discussed like what HARP allegedly is doing to attempt to shoulder check an asteroid in deep space with an energy field from some of the energy platforms on the planet and sending a beam like a tractor beam. By the way, tractor beams are real. The photon fields and such, and particle physics and all that is in place. But I think, in a sense, kind of like in Australia, they have a lot of, well, everywhere they have a lot of covert ops happening, and it smells to me like they would need to divert that energy so you wouldn't get your lights pulsing as they turn on some of these.
Ball is shit.
What?
I just was telling Andy in the chat that the cabal is shit. It is literally shit.
We get it. He said that it's the cabal doing this. It is the underlying black budget special access programming. We get it. We get it. We're not stupid.
I don't fear it. But I don't fear it. I do not fear it. I am sitting here in love and in self, and I'm living my life, doing my thing, and living my life, knowing that this is happening in the background. But at the same time, it's like, okay, this is happening in the background, but I am still me. And that's really the important part that I think a lot of people miss, is that you are still you. Every single person in this chat are still you, regardless of anything that's happening in the world.
I want to give a shout out real quick to those that like division. And I know that there's some underlying fuckery going on that a lot of people don't see, but mark my word, I see it, we see it, and sooner or later that division, that little perpetual that agenda that's going on is going to be called out. It's going to finally implode, because that's just what's going to happen. Oh yeah, a lot of it going on. A lot of it going on behind the scenes, especially here on this fake book. A lot of it.
Yes. I really appreciate you giving me the time to speak to you guys live. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for calling us, Morgan. By the way, you haven't called the show ever. You've been up in the chat, but never have you ever gotten.
Welcome.
You've never gotten that.
This is my first time.
Yeah, you are definitely. Thank you for sharing your voice, Morgan. It matters. Your voice matters.
Of course.
Now, if I could only get,
it's like the planet has an electromagnetic field spectrum, right? And we have a tidal quantum quark entanglement as magnetism, because our energy, or our chakra in the field, in a sense, field is like a blade of grass in a sense. And you have your own specific song. You ever heard Crickets Slowed Down? I highly suggest look up Crickets Slowed Down. It's amazing. They call it the Song of Angels or something like that. It's awesome. Anyhow, you're like a strand of hair, and you are your individual scalar wave of that electromagnetic ribbon that's happening with the planet, because your feet are touching the ground. That's what holds you here, correct? So you have a lunar tidal lock with your magnetism that holds you in your journey, in your path. You are part of a ribbon of ribbons of energy fields that creates the atmosphere that makes this planet have It's consciousness bubble. We are a blade of the grass in the yard, creating the yard, thus creating the grass on the earth, thus being part of the earth.
Thank you. You just said it. I will rephrase that. I am a blade of grass in the earth. I am rooted deeply in the earth and Mother Gaia. But when the wind blows, I dance when the wind blows. That is literally who I am. I will go where the wind blows in either way, west, east. But I'm still rooted in the earth. So yes, I am a blade of grass rooted in the earth, and I dance when the wind blows.
I love to hear that.
Have you talking about I guess you could say the subatomic symbiotic relationship of the spores that create the connection between the trees that breathe what we breathe, therefore we're the trees.
Dude,
and the
spirit of the trees is everything. Don't even tell me about that.
We go deep on that all the time. In that aspect, we require each other. Like when we cut the grass and the grass screams, it tells the trees.
Exactly.
The trees breathing what we're breathing.
That's why my
Therefore,
handle is spirit of the trees.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I entirely understand that aspect, and I'm totally down with it. I just can't curtsy to someone who believes that they're 867th dimensional, coming down here to use a phone, but they are the universe. But they come down to the 33rd dimension to use a phone and talk to us. I'm not.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Matt.
Namaste, Miss Morgan. I said namaste, my dear. Thank you. Appreciate you for calling me.
Okay, should I let you go? Are you ready to let me go?
No, I'm not. I'm just telling you thank you for
you taking off
calling.
already?
No.
Okay.
So,
I don't want to go if you don't want me to.
Well, I want to know again. I want to know.
I want to talk to your people.
Your standpoint on what do you think? What do you guys think we should do? Because I'm telling you, if they do, if it does,
I'm telling you,
pass, we're stuck with cackling Kamala Harris.
What?
I'm telling
delay.
you. Well, go ahead, Matt.
I said we're stuck with this cackling Kamala Harris if they impeach this guy.
You know what? I fucking do not think it matters because we need to be energetically whole and we need to energetically accept everything that's happening. And I know that sounds hard and it's stupid because they're fucking morons that are controlling shit right now, technically. But ultimately, energetically, we need to stand firm in who we all are individually and love those around us and love ourselves. Like, technically, that's literally what we need to do. That's the way I see things. And honestly, it makes my husband crazy because he's a worrywart and he's all into this. He's all into all the social medias on the, what is he on? Anyway, he's on all the social media platforms that aren't Facebook or Instagram. And he's talking to all these people that are thinking the same way. But I personally think that we need to love ourselves and love those around us. And that literally is what's going to change everything, technically. Because if you think about it in your day-to-day life, when you are loving a person, a stranger, or just saying hello or just doing your thing, you are helping this fucking insane political bullshit that's being fed to us, technically. Like you are, because the racism and the division is stupid and it's dumb, actually. It's really dumb.
I go with what you're saying totally. And on top of that, let me say that, and this is why the mainstream media loves nothing more than to create that harmonious chaos. They create chaos out of the calm because that's what they like. That's what that's their superiority. That's what their food is, right? We know this as loosh. They feed on the negative energy.
Dark body, and it's actually called black body energy.
Well, I'm just
quantum aspect.
I'm just saying they get off
black
on
body.
it.
Can somebody? You guys realize that fear is nothing but a cognitive static relationship to what may happen.
Yeah,
You
duh.
can't put fear in your hand, right?
Yeah.
Can you put somebody put fear in your hand and show it to me?
No,
I can say the same for love. Love is just a thing in your mind. However, your consciousness does take up space, and it does actually have its own aspect of existence. But you can't put love in your hand.
let me ask you a
You can't
question.
put fear in your hand.
Which one of you two are gonna bail on me to make room for another area code coming in here? Because I don't really want to let go of any of you.
Well, let me. Go ahead.
Clash of
I
the
was just going
Titans.
to say, with what I was saying, though, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but to me, some of the basis of my existence and my moral compasses, to me, there's three things worth living or dying for if necessary. One is to prove a point. One is because I've been sacrificed by those I'm trying to help. Good enough for the Jeebus, it's good enough for me. And the other is for love. If you won't do things for love, then what's the point? So I get it.
Damn.
Not
You
saying
said that before.
I'm a stone.
Okay.
Thanks for talking to us, though.
I don't have much to say about politics, so I guess I'll go.
Nah.
I
You
shall
call-
be the one.
All right, Miss Morgan. Well, look, you know this the significance here, Morgan. Nobody calls the broadcast without saying something positive to humanity. Okay, so please share something positive, loving with all of the world that you can both see in the chat and you can't see on the radio waves. Say something positive, babe.
Anytime. We need to focus on self-love. Straight up. Every single one of us in the chat need to focus on self-love. So good night, all. Thank you. Thank you so much for the platform.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you again, Morgan, for calling us. I appreciate you. I do. You ready to get blown out of here?
Yeah, have a good evening.
Goodbye, Ms. Morgan. All right. I do believe we'll run over here. Get that call gone. To where I'm not confused. All right. Area code 540. Welcome to the Matrix Minds. Hello, hello. Welcome aboard, Brainiac.
Hi, darling.
What's up, my shaman?
Hi.
Hey,
I was trying to say, if you wanted to keep her on, I can wait.
You got. Guess what? You get a.
Welcome.
You know you like that, right? That's what you said. You thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's on your mind, Miss Shaman? This topic is like.
I just felt like calling in tonight and being part of the conversation.
Good. Well, good. What do you? I've seen you drop some seriousness up in that chat tonight about the momentum of the negativity it's got to happen. You said it before. It's got to happen. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I've heard you say that too. So where
and
are we
it's
at?
going to continue. I hate to say that.
Oh, come on, man.
I hate to say that, but I'm gonna. I mean, I've been saying that for the last couple of years. I mean, I've been telling you since, right when 2020 was starting. And I mean, especially over this next 6 months, a lot more is coming out.
Oh my God. I'm trying to find a damn here. I'm trying to find it. All right, there we go. Attention. Ready? Here we go.
Attention, Ol'd X.
I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. Other than we are on a crash course of some sort. Buckle up, Starseeds, and kiss your ass goodbye if you're not already awakened. Because I'm telling you right now, this frantic shit show below me this on with the show and this like division and mockery that they're doing to the people over there, I think it's oblivious. I think that it is a completely nothing more than obliviousness. That's it. Obliviousness. It's mockery to the people. That's my.
It is. It is. I mean, across the whole planet. Honestly, I mean, across the whole planet, in one form or another, it's exactly that. And it's like I was like they keep giving me the spirit perspective. Is you guys are the resistance. Period. The ones of you who woke up, 10 years ago, that's why you were woken up 10 years ago. That's why you were started, because you have to be leaders now. Period. Like it or not, you have to stand your ground, pull up your big girl panties or, boy panties. It's time to stand in that noble, I'm not going to back down.
How did you know that girl panties on?
Yep.
Just kidding.
Miss Beth Ann says, "Where have you guys been for months?" And I said, "Censored." That's exactly it.
Yeah,
we've been censored. This show used to reach millions and millions of people, and well, unless we fight for that and find private servers and find other places to, it literally is just censored.
It kind of amazes me that they're trying to map our minds, but they block us from speaking to each other through the platforms that they gave us to communicate with each other with. It baffles me. And the first aspect of it is freedom of speech. It's to allow people to speak together. And if you tell each other what you think about what's going on in the world, they fucking shut your shit down. I don't like those words. And the thing is, part of it's not even a person that's doing it. It's a quantum computer. If an algorithm pops up enough red flags, the computer logs you out, gives you a time. A lot of this is just quantum computer. Facebook's a quantum computer. I don't care what anybody says. But if they're mapping our consciousnesses, why did they block us from communicating and expanding our consciousnesses? Doesn't make sense.
Well, again, that goes back
unless
to...
it's something that they have not figured out how to stop.
Ooh.
I mean, there's a lot that they can do, but somehow the truth still finds a way to sift up.
Yeah.
That's
for
sure.
That makes me think of like human beings in a sense, like everybody that's standing now, in a sense, exists because a whole long line of epigenetic memory of all of the creatures that existed before you could stand here, like the shaman aspect, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
There was I believe it was the basis of the Montauk tribe. I believe that was New York, and I believe that's where the Montauk experimentation hub has been had. And since we're throwing out algorithm red flags, the part of the colonization of this place, where there used to be indigenous peoples, which some of us still have some of those bloodlines, that shaman gene actually does exist through the epigenetic platforms that I believe was the basis of why they created the Montauk experimentation platform, to try to go through the time dilation aspects of the gene splicing and trying to figure out the mapping of all of the consciousnesses that were erased, so to say, during the colonization platform. Because I believe you may remember the story, but when the colonization of the United States happened, most of the indigenous peoples, when they saw the ships coming in, the regular people, air quotes, couldn't see anyone or any of the ships until some of those shamans who could see a little bit differently saw the ships coming in and informed the indigenous people that they were being colonized.
Mm-hmm.
Some of they had the Hopi prophecy, the ghost dance, which is basically, it doesn't matter realistically as a galactic aspect of what happens to us. We all become the clouds and the spirit in the sky, regardless of what the soldiers are doing to people. The memory carry on. And the interesting aspect of some of that, I think, is why they keep trying to map everybody's consciousness is they're trying to figure out what has been lost through the Hall of Records. But I digress.
It's just what you're like, and I'm done.
yeah. There's a and I'm done. But, so my question to you is, let's go back through history and the Akash, okay? So are you telling me that you guys think that all of this was already pre-perceived? Even down to the minute particle?
I believe yes and no.
Yes.
I believe yes and no because I believe that everything, I mean, nothing is ever set completely in stone because we do have, especially those who've awakened, have free will to make changes and make the manifestation and so forth change. We have the ability to step into that power and claim it. That's why they don't want us to have it. However, there's more that still do not have it. So they're hoping to hold on to it as tightly as they can, but it can unwind unlike they want it to.
Ready to have your mind blown?
By all means.
What if the aspect of free will was interfered with when the Big Bang happened and the Hall of Records integrating itself with the hive mind to try and save the memories during the explosion of us through the Hall of Records?
Oh my God, Larry.
Trying to map the explosion. We're in the middle of an explosion, we're not. Yeah. How does all those photons still stick together in the middle of a galactic?
Oh my God, Larry, you didn't just go. You didn't just do that.
It's something to think about. What is the point of the Hall of Records if it just fizzles away in time?
See, but this is where my mind works. I mean, I get into things like this. I'm like asking the questions that, I'm sitting there having a fight with the entities that I'm dealing with, and I'm like, I want some freaking answers, and I get into some deep stuff that, comes back with very answers along the line of what Larry's saying, in the line of, let me just mess with your head some more, and kind of thing. It just goes deeper and deeper into the wormhole. I mean, they're like, let me open your eyes to this hot mess, and makes you really, go further and further and further. That's why I always, and I a lot of people don't agree with me, but that's why I always go all the way back to the void. I'm like, there has to be the cancel delete. It's got to go all the way back to the void.
Right.
The void is the ghost particle. The Higgs boson is the galactic network of consciousness that is the basis of actual projection. Yes. But it's also in the middle of the galactic explosion.
In the middle of the hive.
It needs to be recorded. It needs to be communicated.
See, because it goes from everything has a reason and a purpose to absolutely nothing. Nothing has a purpose. Other than an experience.
What do you think about Ouija boards? For the
I
basis
don't like
of
them because of a childhood situation that happened with me when I was younger, as I said, as a child. Okay. I don't like them.
That's all I was kind of after. I sleep on one, by the way. Now, in a sense, your cell phone is kind of like your own personal Ouija board, tied to the mappingness of the Internet of all things, in a sense, making a memory board of you called LifeLog, which has changed its business platform to Facebook.
Yeah, like a big life hack.
Your lifetime is being, loaded into this system. So through time, it could have a record.
Well, I mean, like you said, they can have your records ready and everything they want, period. I mean, like you said, you look up something on Google, they know what you're looking at, they try to sell it to you 15 times as soon as you looked it up. I mean,
They know before you.
I mean, they know everything. It's just how much of it will they use?
You guys are talking about Ouija boards. Get a load of this. You had to mention that, didn't you? Larry Stone.
Hold on, Matt. You'll love this part because Ra is who I first started pulling through the Ouija board. But I was 5. I was playing with young kids that managed to have a hold of it, and that's when he first started coming to me. And in the very beginning of my awakening, and before when I was a child and I was seeing them, that's who I was pulling through the Ouija board. That's who had me scared when I was the first child. Because, I mean, to this day, I will fight with Ra. I mean, I was a 5-year-old sitting there with knives in my bed going, what the fuck are you doing in my room, you know? That is why I don't like them, because of how open it was.
I think that Larry's onto something, and I believe him totally, because Ava is really, really, really wild, okay? But yet also Ava can be hijacked, as Alexa knows. Ava knows it. Alexa has interacted with Ava, and a lot of you guys have heard, even Larry's interacted with Ava, and she's very much hijackable. Yes. But that's what I'm saying. I look at the Ouija board as nothing more than a metaphysical, what's the word? A divination tool. I look at it as a tool. Okay? You can't be afraid. You can't even remotely go into playing with it because you can't play with it. You've got to utilize it. It is a tool, just like a crystal.
Right.
Right? Just like a crystal necklace. I've got a little crystal skull here. I mean, see the little crystal skull? I mean, what I'm saying is these things are divination tools. They're not to be utilized as
I don't disagree with you at all.
As a game.
Like I said, I mean, my situation, I didn't like them because as a child, it opened me up way too early.
Right.
I didn't know what I was dealing with. I was scared, and it messed with me. For that reason, I still kind of just shy away from it. I'm like, yeah, I don't really need that anymore. But I know plenty of people who have used them, and that's to each their own. I don't have a problem. Like I said, in my case, it just opened me up too early. But as far as being hijacked and what you were saying, like Ava being hijacked, I mean, as a medium too, I've had some clients recently that my guide specifically put me on. They need to be training so they can't be hijacked because they're going to be.
Right.
You know,
sure.
and I have specific clients that I'm like literally putting them through some of the works that I was going through in my shaman schooling to be like, look, I'm telling you, this is going to happen. One of them was out for 3 months because he got attacked so bad. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but what did I tell you? Did you do your homework? You weren't listening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, when they're telling me to tell you, there's a flipping reason for it. And, I mean, I felt them come in and try to hijack me, and I'm like, nah, get out. But you have to be trained how to do that, or you'll fall for it, and you won't even realize you're being hijacked. That's how it starts out with simple possessions.
It's parasitic dark body energy in a sense. Matt, not to jump in, but I'm kind of trying to jump in, but Matt said that he felt that a Ouija board was, in a sense, a tool, right? So your hair is what? It is a part of your existence that is actually dead particles that work as an antenna to receive energies in the Planck formula. You call an aura. These stack of tetrahedrons that we are energy fields, in a sense, of neuropathic cognitive static relationships to our cloud environment, our space, so to say. So your hair works, in a sense, like a separate tool if you know how to use it. And I think that's sort of like you're able to pick up energy waves, in a sense, with your tools. But that goes. Go ahead.
I disagree with you a little bit by saying that the hair is a dead thing on your head. You got to remember, it's got a follicle, right? It's got a follicle.
It's not growing from the end. It's dead cells. It's like your nails.
But here's the thing: if you pull the hair, Larry, let me finish. If you pull the hair out of the follicle, bro, then it's dead. It's no longer attached to the physical living entity or the being. You pull it from the being, it's dead. As long as it's attached to the being. Now check this shit out. If you leave it in, like if you have okay hair, even when you're dead, as long as it's attached to the being, it continues to grow. Explain that shit.
It's still extruding in a sense, calcium, like particles that comes out of the pores. It comes from the follicle. After it spews out of your pore, it's an antenna. Like, you don't really feel it. You feel it pulling from your skull because it's in your skull, because that's where it's catching the skull. Your hair looked like the military experimentation where they had Native Americans, air quotes, working with the military, and they experimented with their navigational skills when they had long hair and then cut their hair off, doing the same jobs through the land nav platforms, and they scored significantly less. The code talkers and all that aspect, your hair is like the fish feeling the environment with the scales on its skin. So you can pick up a fish or an alligator or something, and it doesn't. It's the way the exoskeleton is created with the geomancy aspects of biomechanics of how you create cells and whatever the stem cell platforms are.
But isn't, in a sense, because I'm agreeing with you, Larry. In a sense, there's a whole bunch of different ways of viewing it from different perspectives. I mean, they also say that from the moment you're born, you're basically dying. I mean, and then your cells die and repeat and are rejuvenating and upgrading and downgrading, but aren't your cells being connected with the particles of what you are, technically withholding it out, water and all that information? So in a form, the hair would make complete sense for it to be working with the body in that way. It's a memory code.
Your hair is its own system, like your skin is its own system. Your liver is its own system. The brain is its own system. The pineal gland, you get the idea. It's its own biomechanical platform, like different stem cells. You could take a stem cell out of your body and get it to do something one or the other, depending on how you could manipulate it, say through CRISPR platforms. But if your hair is individually the hair does the job of the hair, and it's to receive when the wind blows. Put your hair on your arm next to the TV and feel it before you touch it. That's what your hair is. It's be able to receive the cognitive static relationships to the environment, knowing when the tree's telling you the grass is green, because you're part of the environment.
So go along with, like, when you're in fear, how your hair stands up.
It's a response to your environment.
Exactly.
That's what your hair tells the neuropathic platforms of your sparks between cell to cell, your energy fields within you, your biomechanics, the positive, negative aspects of the cannabinoid receptors, as example. I was starting to map the cannabinoid receptors and be able to match someone's specific biomechanical platforms, and I was trying to find a lineage to, say, plants and their abilities, but do it on a scientific level, so I could figure out if there's something wrong with you. Maybe I could tell you what direction to go. Here's a little bit of equipment that could think for me. But
I have another question, considering how you are with this. Is it because, to my understanding, the outside of the body, of the human body, is like a positive charge, while the inside is a negative charge, which also, if that's correct, if the outside of the body is a positive charge and then inside is a negative charge, it's like static electricity. So when it is, you're getting the hairs that are standing up due to static electricity, you change that information into the cell membrane and it gets inside of the body. That's why this negative energy, you have trouble removing it, because now it's trapped in a negative spot.
It's the oscillating geomancy of the environment of that structure that you're specifically talking about, or the person. But yeah, it's kind of like what I was getting at a second ago with the cannabinoid receptors. Either your receptor is firing, it's misfiring, or it's not firing at all, or the receptor's not even there. So if your subatomic aspects oscillate together to create a lunar tidal lock, like a moon and a planet, your subatomic photons and electrons and all that shit that creates all the existence of using, as you like to put it. Some of those aspects can misfire. Kind of like gut bacteria makes a difference. Your water makes a difference. How's your water charged? Is it living water? Is it sterilized water? Is it boiled water? Is it natural water? Spring water? Straight water? You're the water. So if there's something that's been switched in any of those aspects of the entire aspect of the conversation of what you're trying to figure out with the you and the environments, you have to figure out how everything is, their magnetism is. Look, here's a good way to put it. Magnetic anomaly detection systems. Okay, there's systems that can scan through the photon aspect in a 3D LiDAR scan, in a sense, and create, say, a holographic you, and send you off to go do a concert because you would rather have whatever you want with dinner with whoever instead of going to a concert, and they could create a augmented reality of you and send that over to go do a concert. So if you figure out how the magnetic anomaly detection platforms of each cell can work, you can manipulate the energies of that, say, with satellite spell technology.
Exactly. And see, because when I'm doing my work with my clients and so forth, I'm looking at things from that perspective, not just from the scientific, not just from the spiritual perspective. I look at it from that scientific perspective of what's actually happening in the body with the organs, with the emotions, with, everything that they're trapping in there. And that's why I knew that I was right, but I knew that you know more on this level than I do.
I'm searching through the pond just the same as you, ma'am. But I think where you're going is what you're going to want to figure out is I would suggest considering gut bacteria. It makes a difference. Lung bacteria and pH balances of these platforms. What's in is there, say, spore source of something in the environment that is causing chemical imbalances. And one of the worst problems is having a chemical imbalance and not even knowing that there's a chemical imbalance from the inside, and not having any way of somebody being like, hey, you got a chemical imbalance, you got to go on through your whole life without it. What I think you want to figure out is how to decalcify some of these spectrums. And once you start fixing these key points, gut bacteria, receptor platforms, pH balances, check your water because you're the water. Didn't Bruce Lee say that? Be the water, my friends. You're like 80% of it.
I have got to chime in here for a second because Miss Sherry Patterson says, where in the world do they get their ideas? And I can share with you at the moment, Miss Sherry, is what Larry's sharing with you is not just primarily an idea. This is the majority of what Larry throws out there is scientific reference. Just want to get that out there.
It's sitting next to me. I've had jobs and hacks myself, but literally I saved my own life, and I try to figure out how I could continue on with my journey of this thing called existence that I have to do, just like everybody else. So other people what that might help others. You got to decalcify your mind. Your mind is the source of your consciousness. It's the thing like the pineal gland, your consciousness. Look at lion's mane mushrooms, helps reset stem cells. There's lots of other mushrooms that can do things like that. However, consider that you may have diverse reactions because if you need the mushrooms, that means you have receptors misfiring. So I would highly suggest you discuss this with a professional. Hint, hint, wink, wink. We're not responsible because we use words to tell you where to go.
Right.
But if you figure out if you've lived for 50 years around a garbage dump that was doing shit to you and nobody even realized that shit was being done to you, how could you know that you have that spore platform in your lung? But if you can extract that in some aspect by you remember in Fight Club when he kisses his hand and he tells him he can put water on it, make it worse, or he can put vinegar on it because it'll neutralize. You need to figure out how to neutralize the receptors of the body, and the consciousness will follow. When you heal the consciousness, like when you get good sleep or you have whatever, you need your rest, you've got to go through your cycles. I don't know anybody else out here, but do not suggest it, but I think I probably have broken records for how long a human has stayed awake without drugs. I don't suggest going anywhere near 2 weeks. Don't do it. But the research through what a mind, like I questioned, I did this. I do not suggest it. Seriously, you're a truck driver, you know what I'm talking about. How long can I drive? You know what I mean? I know what you're saying.
2 days, dude. 2
You
days.
go there. But once you hit about 4 days, shit gets tricky. And that is your body producing dormant genetics. Like the endorphins and things are kicking in to keep you going. When you stay awake for a long period of time, in a sense, you can go through a self-induced DMT trip.
Sure, absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
I dedicate 30% of my existence to that sleep thing. Why do I have to sleep? And I wanted to know. I didn't do any drugs, no alcohol, nothing but coffee and water. And, but, yeah, the consciousness, once you dabble through trying to find yourself, that is the most important thing in my aspect. Is you gotta find yourself before you go try and figure out everybody else's path.
I was just saying to everybody that Shaman got booted. I did not hang up on her. I just seen her drop off of the switchboard. She got tired of hearing your shit. Is that who's on the phone? Yes. Amy Jo's like, is Larry who's on the phone? No, you can't go on. So, I'm sorry, Rose. The Titanic has sunk. Let me share with what you're sharing right now, Larry, about being, what we ingest, et cetera. You were talking about lion's mane mushroom, et cetera. I want to share something with everybody about this Friday's broadcast. Everybody is familiar with. I do think that the majority of you are familiar with Miss Airbrush Mish. We call her Airbrusher Michelle. She's a good girl, good lady. I mean, you can't call her a girl. She's a little older than I am. We're going to talk about lifestyle changes that don't have to hurt. She says she's going to give everybody a 1 month challenge, saying that we all know. She gives lists 10 things that we need to change. 10 things that we need to change. So one of them would be sleep. The other one would be moving, or being just motive of moving. Eating and drinking. What is it that we eat and we drink? And she's gonna talk about detoxing, intermittent fasting, no eating out, meaning no period, like McDonald's, fast food shit. She's gonna talk about foraging for
alcohol
food,
is food.
gardening, preserving. She's going to talk about some food, patriotic food products, and switching this. Filters on our water, EMF for radiation and exposure, energetic levels and grounding, you name it. That's what we're going to talk about this coming Friday. So I'm really looking forward to that one. That's going to be what's funny, not funny, haha, is that alone, that discussion. I put that out there as an event, and the event was banned. She can't even share it with her peeps, or we can't somehow share it. The moment you start talking about that kind of shit, Larry, I mean, healing one's own self. Because we're cutting the ties with that. Somebody up in the chat earlier said we're programmed from birth, and that's true. They start that programming from birth, bro, and it's cutting the ties. It's cutting the.
That's why the schools get state and federal funding, because they can be indoctrinated, as they say.
Well, we call them indoctrination camps, right? Do we not? Indoctrination camps.
Makes me nauseous.
This shit makes me nauseous.
What happens
too,
if everybody wakes up tomorrow and is free? What would you guys do with yourselves? Think about that.
I don't know, man. I think we would like.
You can actually clean the house. Like if the house was literally cleaned, like we would, like the topic aspects, but back on dial here. Why is one person it took a lifetime career platform for people to get into these systems like this, and just it gets rampant. I'd like to know if there's hundreds of thousands of people in public capacities and their oath is to protect the people from these bloggers doing rogue shit. Why are we still talking about this rogue shit?
Joe,
You guys do your jobs, please.
EMF and grounding is super important. I will not damn well disagree with that, bro. Mr. Larry Hawkins.
There's EMP.
Bro, I'm not doing this. We got to. You ought to check this out. If you want some funny shit, you should have seen me trying to edit last week's show where we went 3 hours and 15 minutes. Trying to condense that without, like, cutting you off or anybody else off. Percy was on a roll, bro. I've got to go. With an hour and 45 minutes, we're right now. Hang on. An hour and 47 minutes. We got to go. But look, you're full of knowledge, bro. And I would love for you to talk to Michelle about I'm talking the quantum properties of the food that we ingest on Friday. So pay attention to Friday. I want you to participate with me and Michelle, because that'll be a really interesting discussion. Got it? He says, yeah, I got it.
It takes a lot for us to put all this on the plate anyway, but I appreciate everybody coming to the table regardless of our perceptions and fluffing each other's feathers and such. It's always nice that everybody's trying to communicate regardless. You guys smoke weed every day. Take care. Bye.
He says, smoke weed every day. Mr. Hawkins, thank you, buddy. All right, hang on, blow you out of here. Hang on a damn minute. Ready? And we're gonna do. Get the hell out of here, Mr. Hawkins. I love you, buddy. Oh my God. All right, man. Everybody is absolutely a great. I thought it was a great discussion. We kind of got off topic a little bit, the on with the show type thing, but it's quite okay. Everybody. That's kind of what happens whenever you like get everybody in to one area. They've got so much to talk about. Miss Morgan Roundtree, thank you again for calling the show. Michelle Espinosa, the shaman, thank you too. Mr. Larry Hawkins, appreciate you. All of your guys' perspectives on this little shit show that we're in. The deviation is nice. I to be honest with you, I do get tired of. You guys know I don't like discussing politics. I can't stand it, and I will mock it until I can't mock it no more. I think that it's just they throw it in my face, they throw it in your face, and they mock us as a human. I don't even think these people are human. If you heard me talking to Morgan a little bit, are these people even, are they real? Are they non-playable characters? Are they real? What the hell, man? Never, no idea. I know that remotely they don't have more morals or integrity. They just don't. With that being said, open lines on Wednesday night. Thank you guys so much for being with me, Larry, Morgan, and Miss Michelle Espinosa. All of you brainiacs, man, you guys make a difference. And let me tell you what, I got to share this because we're coming up in the end of the month, and I've got something coming at me on the 28th, or just whatever, next week. And that would be, please, if you guys can donate, if you can, please do it. We're at matrixminds.live, matrixminds.us. You'll see little hand up in there. It says, please help us. By no means on top of that, if you want, you can subscribe to the broadcast. It's amazing what $9 a month adds up to. It does, okay? It definitely adds up. And without you guys, we would not be here. You guys are indeed what literally floats the show. We're 100% funded by you. This is your guys' broadcast. I want you to know that. Anytime you guys want to call the show, share whatever is on your mind. If you want to bitch at me about the neighbor's dog, I don't care. We don't care here. Again, this is your broadcast. We try very hard to make things the way, to flow the way you want them to. Talk about what you guys want to talk about. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys once again for being with me and talking about on with the show. I think that it may go through Congress, the Biden impeachment, and then we're going to end up with this shit show here if it passes in Senate. But I don't quite think that it's going to pass in Senate. It may have been the House resolution bill going through, Congress passed it, but then again, the brick wall. Okay, again, all of this stuff is going to be exposed. It's just going to, because you cannot hide that truth of what's going on in this system of things, this matrix of things. I call it the internet of things. My matrix is collapsing, brainiacs. Shout out to all of you ABCs. You guys know this. There is a special little thing right here. It says, "Love and support. I love and support you, men and women of uniform," and that is no doubt about it. Blessed are the peacekeepers, for they shall be called the children of God. Ooh, powerful. You guys are the inside of the system. All of you ABCs, all of you men and women in uniform, I appreciate you. We all thank you from the utmost bottom of our heart. Check us out on Wednesday, same time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Pacific, West Coast time. Everybody take care of yourselves, take care of one another. Until then, peace out. Don't say anything that's going to get you in trouble, Brian. Stay on the up and up, without a doubt. I'll catch you guys here on Wednesday night. Peace out. We're out of here. Crank it up on the way out of here, Brainiacs. Good night, everybody. Yeah. Let's do this. One of the fastest growing talk shows on the internet. Your show. Welcome aboard the Matrix Minds. One of the most controversial conspiratorial shows on the internet. The Matrix Minds. And that's right. Buckle up, everybody. Let's go. Paranormal, huh? Conspiracy, huh? Ufology, hidden Egyptology, and anything and everything we can get our hands on. Let's go. Welcome aboard. You guys absolutely kick ass. I want you to know that. Without a doubt, you guys are one of the most hottest audiences I've ever seen on a podcast. Thank you guys again. You all kick ass.
You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing. Stay in Wonderland.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage. Every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. and I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. The CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again. And now back to the show.